What's good, squad? It's the big homie SB23 back at you with some more words of wisdom. Today we're going to talk about how to utilize your shadow side or your darkness. Like, share, subscribe, and spread the I'm about to say joy. Spread the joy, but spread the gems out to anybody that might need it or want it. So I know yesterday we talked about how to harness your shadow side, or how to make friends with your demons, or how to incorporate that side of yourself within yourself and not shun it. Today we're going to talk about, once you do make peace with your demons, or your fear, or your alter ego, how the proper way to use it. So I know yesterday I gave the example of Batman and how Batman uses his shadow side and his darkness in order to help people, and that's one way you could do it. You can use it to protect your loved ones, or to protect yourself, or protect somebody you might see out in the world. Somebody's being mistreated or something like that. You can use your shadow side to tap into that, or to help them out. You tap into your shadow side and help them out in whatever situation it is. Like I said yesterday, in order to incorporate that side with you, you gotta acknowledge that it's there, make peace with it, be friends with it, and then bring it together with your light, so you can create one immense power, instead of it being divided and there being a battle between the two. So I know oftentimes in life we battle between the light and the dark within us. But in order to really succeed and to overcome yourself and your own issues and trials, you got to bring them both together as one and mend those energies together in order to fully come into your full power. So once you do that, you should then from that point be able to turn each one of them on and off like a light switch. So you want to think about it like that. Like, excuse me, when I think about my light and my dark side, I look at it as like a switch that I can flip either one on or off at will. That's when you have full power and control of it. So again, in the instance, I'll give you some examples of when I flip my switches on and off. So when I'm dealing with my family members, I flip on the light. Family members, loved ones, friends, and during doing my everyday things in life, the switch is on the light position. When it comes to when I'm by myself and I'm doing the things that I like to get into, some of those things require me to go into the alter ego. So then I flip the switch to the dark side. Now, when I'm saying to the dark side, it's not like I'm going dark and doing evil things. It's just I'm using a lower level of myself, because we all have higher and lower levels. So you got your chakras, and your lower chakras are your lower vibrating energies that are within you. Your higher chakras are the higher vibrating energies that are within you. So and then obviously within the middle is like a balance. So your heart chakra is in the middle. That's why everything starts within your emotions first and then goes out. So when I say I'm tapping into the darker side of myself, it's things like, again, like I was talking about yesterday with my art. Like if I'm doing something like music, I'll tap into that alter ego within me, and I'll let that part of myself lead. So that's one instance to where I will flip the switch and go into that part of myself, and then let that part be free and roam and take over, so that I can express this art from a different viewpoint. Because a lot of that stuff that comes out in my music is life stuff that I deal with, or just whatever I'm feeling in that moment. And when you're doing art, anybody that I know that is an artist with anything, if it's like painting, or if it's like music, or if it's even sports, because sports are art, is an art form too to me. So like sports, sculpting, whatever it is, whatever art you get into, oftentimes you pull on that lower vibration within you, because that's where that beast, like that's where that demon or that beast that inner animal within you comes out. Sometimes you need that dog to come out in certain scenarios, like sports, for instance. Sometimes you got to dig deep. When you're digging deep, literally deep down to your lower self, to bring out that animalistic side of you, because that's really all that is. Like your lower self is really just the animal side of you. That's the side of you that just relies on straight instincts and not so much thinking, you know, not so much logic, not so much peace. I'll say you're dealing with the animal now, you know what I'm saying? And that's what those lower forms of vibration is. That's the animal side of you. That's the beast within you. So when I'm playing sports, like if I'm playing basketball, football, hockey, or whatever it is that I'm getting into at that time, that's when I let that part of myself lead the way, because now I'm moving off of straight instincts and not logic. Sometimes when you're playing sports and stuff like that, you need to tap into emotion in order to bring out your full potential, because that's another thing too. Emotions aren't bad. They're only bad if they're not controlled. If you got it under control, again, if you got your shadow side controlled, then you can use it for good. So again, if you're playing basketball, like for me, basketball is my sport that I love to play. So when I play basketball, I'll tap into that lower side of myself and let that side lead. And now I'm letting a little bit of the ego come out, because now when I get on the court, I'm walking on the court and I'm moving as if I'm the best out here. You know, even if somebody might be better than me, I'm still walking as if I am the best, and therefore the best version of myself is gonna come out. So when I'm doing my thing on the court, I'm letting that animal lead. So that means that I'm bringing out that dog within me, which means that I got the energy to persevere over certain things. So maybe somebody else might be on the court, they might be getting tired, they don't got that same dog within them that I got. So yeah, we both tired, but I can dig deep into my into that side of myself and pull out some more energy in order to get over the hump. That's what I'm saying. I'm not out there being egotistical and then, you know, trying to talk down on anybody else or make it seem like nobody could do anything with me on the court. It's just the sense of I'm walking with the ego for myself, telling myself, yo, you really him, and we gonna get this thing done no matter what. And even if we lose within that game, I still know I gave it 110% of what I had. You know, I dug deep regardless. So win or lose, when I walk off the court, I can still hold my head high because I put everything on the court. So that's what I'm saying. When you dig into that shadow side, it's just pulling out that extra energy within yourself that is going to manifest into something positive. And again, with the music and stuff like that, it's the same way. When I go do my music, some of my best music ever has been when I've let that side of me lead. Now again, when I do music, depending on whatever emotion it is, it could be light or dark, depending on, or a mixture of both, depending on whatever type of mood I'm in at that point. But some of my best songs ever have come from that darker side, you know what I mean? And I mean, there's songs that I don't even know if I would release, just because I don't know if I want that type of energy coming back to me, depending on what I said in the song, because a lot of the stuff that I say in my music comes to pass. But when I just listen to it, so those are some of my favorite songs, because it's like it's such a real side of me that I'm seeing play out and on this art form. When I play it back, I hear it and I acknowledge it for what it is. I don't shun it. I appreciate it and I accept it. So again, I just came out the gym, and that's another scenario. You be in the gym, sometimes you get tired and you got to pull from that other energy source. You know, sometimes you go in there, you're like, all right, I'm about to knock this gym stuff out. You getting your workout in, your session in, but you might get tired halfway through and you're like, man, I still got this and this and this that I want to get to. And instead of just calling it quits and then leaving the gym and being like, all right, I did enough, you got to dig deep, you know, let that animal out the cage and say, all right, we're going to dig deep and let this animal out, and then go harder. You know what I'm saying? So that's all that is. You know, you can utilize that darkness in many different ways, you know. Again, protecting people, again, even sexually, that's a lot of times when my darker side comes out too. You know, you flip that switch because, again, sex is something of the flesh. So now, yeah, it could be spiritual, of course, but it's two fleshes mixing together. You know what I'm saying? So I know, again, for me, I tap into that side of myself because that's a lower vibration that you're operating on when you're having that time with whoever you're having it with. And so there's a different version of yourself that comes out. At least for me, I know there's a different version. Again, that animal comes out, so I'm a different person than the normal person that's walking around here every day. That's a different being that comes out. And if you're, like I said, if you're in control of your shadow side, you'll feel it when that happens. When you flip that switch, again, you should be able to do it at will. That's why I say, I know for me, when it comes to certain situations, people think that, or people take my kindness for weakness, but it's not. I'm not being kind because I'm weak. I'm being kind because I know the immense amount of darkness that I hold within me because of the things that have happened to me in my life and the things that I've encountered. And because of that, I don't lead with that darkness. I lead with the light. But if I get pushed to a certain point, then, like I was saying in my last video, then that's when I can flip the switch at will and let it out. But I try to give people as many chances as possible before I let it get to that point, because when I do get to that point, it's a different animal. And everybody has that, you know. That's why there's a lot of people out here now who are in jail, because they don't have, for the rest of their lives, because they didn't have control over their darkness. They never accepted it for what it was at the beginning, and they were just letting it roam free and wild instead of making friends with it and then letting it know that, hey, listen, I understand that you're a part of me, but you don't control anything. And when I do, and I'll call on you for when that time is right. So again, when you're dealing with these type of energies within yourself, you got to acknowledge what it is. And that, again, is taking the time to sit by yourself and dig deep, you know, cut off all this social media stuff. Sometimes you need some time alone from even family members and friends to dig deep within yourself and really get to know who you are at your core. Because if you don't get to know who you are at your core, then you can never control the energies within you. And then you're just walking around in chaos because, again, you're battling between doing the light thing and doing the dark thing instead of just doing both when the time is right. So again, there's some situations where you want to lead with the light, there's some situations where you want to lead with the darkness, and then there's some situations where you want to lead with both of them working together simultaneously. It just all depends. But if you don't have control of your darkness, then it will overtake things and have you moving out here in a way that you don't want to move, and then finding yourself in situations that you don't want to be in, and then it's too late. Because again, what if you don't have it under control, you could be not only hurting yourself, but you could be hurting people around you, and now you done messed up not only your life but somebody else's life because you didn't have your faculties in control. You didn't have that part of you in control. So those are just some ways you can implement the shadow side. Like I said, you want to think of it like a light switch. So you want to judge the scenario and then decide on which side of yourself you need to use in that moment. Don't just lead with whatever you think, whatever. Don't just lead off of emotion. Think about what's going on and then acknowledge whatever it is in the proper way. So again, the best advice I can give anybody is to go deep within yourself, understand your light and understand your darkness. And then when you can understand and harness the power from your darkness, then apply it to whatever you want to apply it to and see the results that you get from it. And I'm here to say that, you know, from my own personal experience, that if you do this in the right way, in the right combination, you can see some really great results without having to hurt anybody around you or hurt yourself. Because you don't want to, again, the darkness isn't a bad thing. It's only bad if it's not controlled. And the light isn't always a good thing, because if you don't have the light in control, then you could be out here hurting people too. So you want to have control over your energies and your faculties within you so that you can promote the best type of energy, not only for yourself, but for everybody else around you. But all right, y'all, I'm out of here. I'll holla.